we can no longer have an excuse that history is written by the wrong people. We can no longer make an excuse that facts are misinterpreted or exaggerated or watered down by the people who write the history, whereas the owners of the history are not doing anything about it. They are not writing about it. They are not documenting it of what happened, because the one who's got the pen is the one who's got the power to write what is good according to their understanding or depending on the agenda that they have for writing that history. If you look, currently there's a series that is playing called Shaka Elanga. I hope I'm saying it right, where it's going deeper into who Shaka was, coming from his mother's side, what transpired, the tribe and different tribes and all that, going deeper into the history. There've been other documentaries, or let me say movies, talking about Ushaka. But you find that it was not, the Zulu people always felt that the narrative that was being portrayed, it's not really what happened. And I want to point out that if we don't take ownership to write our own stories, we always have to accept what others write about us. So this comes to issue of how important records is. Records is so important, and we think that records is a new thing. It's a new buzzword, records management and all that. It's not a new buzzword. It existed from the beginning of human beings. If it was not the tribes and leaving evidence, writing on the stones, making sure that what they're writing, even if we didn't understand the languages centuries and after centuries, but we had an idea, or there were certain people who existed here, the kind of lives that they live, evidence of, it can be bones, it can be old buildings or whatever. And we need to really dig deep to understand that records is not only for the workplace, for the organization, but also in our lives. There are families you find that they're gifted in certain things, but you find that history is not written for the next generation to come to be able to learn from that. If we go back to our ancestors, you'll find that before modern medicine, there will be a family that will specialize in healing of the teeth. There will be a family that will specialize in treating of fertility. There will be a family that will specialize in epilepsy and so forth. But that knowledge has faded away because it was never documented, and there was no mindset of continuity. Because one of the reasons that we have to keep records is that there needs to be continuity, even if this existing generation no longer exists, but the next generation exists. If you look at the series of Ushaka Ilanga, you look at the costume, you look at the hairstyle, you listen even to the language that they're speaking. You realize it's not the typical Zulu that you speak every day, because they had to, I'm sure, use the linguistics experts on language, because as times goes by, language gets changed, gets modernized, gets watered down and all that. So records management existence since the beginning of human beings. It's not a new phenomenon. And if we can understand how records is so important from the birth of a child, not even from the birth of a child, from the conceiving of the child, when the child goes for the mother discovered that they're pregnant, they're treated, they go for checkups, they check if the baby is okay and all that. And if anything is not okay, they monitor that and correct it if it can be corrected while the baby is still in the mother's womb. You realize that records is everything that we do. It's everything that we touch. It's not something outside our lives. It's not something outside our work. It's not outside the political arena. It's not outside the financial situation that is happening. But it's a foundation, is the pillar, is the roof of everything who we are as human beings. So I'll be having few topics every week regarding records, making it practical to our personal lives, making it relating to our work life. But I want to bring a mind change when it comes to records, or you yourself, your record, the things that you do, the kind of decision that you make, outside your work life, outside your family life, outside there on the social life, inside your family, whatever decision that you make, the words that you do, how you walk, how you move, as the all of you as a whole, you are a working record. So record, it's not filing. I get angry when I hear people referring that records, it's filing. I get worked up because I'm like, do you understand what you're saying? And if we can have that understanding, I think we can start to change how we view things in our personal lives, even in our professional lives. So I'll be having every week platform where I'll pick a topic to talk about records, what records is, how important it is, how we can use records as a strategic tool in the organization, or even in our lives. Records is about governance, it's about compliance, it's a strategic tool that needs to get used, especially where service needs to be delivered in a government sectors where they have to deliver service to the civil servants, that you cannot achieve your strategic goals, besides government and other private organizations. You cannot achieve your strategic goals. You cannot achieve your annual performance. You cannot achieve your unit KPI objective and the individual KPI without records. Because there is no you, there is no your position, there is no you are delivering and your work without records. I hope that you, I don't know if it's tune in or to listen to, but I'll be having, every week I'll be picking up a topic regarding records to break it down, to make it more practical than to make it a foreign thing or something that is just a filing. No, we're going to break it down from, that even a gogo who hasn't gone to school, whatever, will understand what records is.